once again. Thursday night stop and chat on the Fantrax YouTube channel. Sub the channel, go to fantraxhq.com. It's real simple. That's the message. Fantraxhq.com covers continuously all fantasy sports anytime you need it. It's free too. So go to fantraxhq.com. All right, let's start with tonight in LA. LA. I'm walking in LA, Brand Van 3000. Do you know that song? That is a deep cut, a very deep cut. Doesn't matter though, because when it comes to deep cuts, Chiefs really know how to hurt you. Unfortunately, in a negative way. They hurt you because your fantasy production is not where you would hope it would be this year. Tyreek Hill is a mystery at times. So is Travis Kelce. How can you rely on both of those guys without a doubt? There's injury concerns. Derwin James for the Chargers. Asante Samuels Jr. Both are questionable. It's up in the air. Will open up more passing opportunities? Or will the Chiefs try to use their running backs against the worst rushing defenses in the league? There's no doubt about that. That is a lock. So, Darrell Williams? I kind of like Darrell Williams tonight to be somebody who can really provide you with some extra fantasy value at a cheaper price. Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's in the mix, but just when you think you got one guy pegged in the running back situation for the Chiefs, another guy shows up. Last week, Derek Gore scored some points. I don't expect Derek Gore to be a big factor again this week. He showed up one game earlier this year, and then we didn't hear from him for a bit. So I like Darrell Williams and Clyde Edwards-Hilaire the most in the backfield there. Patrick Mahomes, I wouldn't spend the money on him because you just never know. He is due, though. He is due for a big game. It just seems every time we've tried to make that happen this season, it hasn't happened. But hey, who could blame you for playing Patrick Mahomes? In the captain spot on DraftKings, which is where I focus most of my DFS action, I'm not going to play Mahomes in the captain spot. No way. No way. Receiver-wise, I'm going to go with Pringle. I like Mr. Pringle. You pop those Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop. And it's cheap. So Pringle's a great play for me. And then a deep cut is Blake Bell, backup tight end. I think he's got a chance to sneak in. Sometimes in these big marquee games, these primetime matchups, guys come under the radar who you wouldn't expect to do something. It does happen. I like him as a cheap play. But in the end, Travis Kelce has to get going at some point. And I think that could happen tonight. He hasn't done anything in a while. So the Chiefs have a lot of options for you to look at. You know, Josh Gordon is on the COVID list. So Pringle is definitely someone I'd like to have a nice game tonight. I suppose you could try Hardman, but I think McCole Hardman's cashed. He's done. Bye-bye. Let's move over to the Chargers side of the ball. Now, Mike Williams had a nice game last week, but he's only had one touchdown since week 6. One touchdown. That's not great. And he's been targeted consistently since week 10, at least 6 targets a game. He's only been able to do something with it in certain points. So, with Keenan Allen returning, are you going to play Mike Williams as the contrarian play? Will he get the targets, and will he maximize those opportunities? He will get the targets. So I do like Mike Williams a bit, but Keenan Allen's just always a lock. I don't care if he's coming back from the COVID list or not. Go put him in your lineups. Definitely someone I'm considering for the captain spot tonight, although there's other Charger options that could be beneficial to you, like Mr. Herbert. Justin Herbert is playing well. In fact, his last 2 home games, he's thrown 3 touchdowns each. The Giants this past weekend, and then a couple weeks ago against Pittsburgh. So there was a small narrative I had a debate with over Herbert playing better on the road than at home because the Chargers have no home field advantage. Nobody cares that you're in LA. It's the biggest bust of a move since, think of the worst moves in sports history. The Vancouver Grizzlies, that didn't work out very well. I kind of feel like that's where we're at right now. It's a real bummer. I'm not cool with that at all. But I'm not a fan, so who cares? I'm a fantasy football player, and Herbert can play with the best of them. And with no Chris Jones tonight for KC, that's great news. You don't have to worry about the pass rush as much. But sometimes Herbert's worst games of the season have been at home. But he's playing well on a roll right now, and they're trying to make the playoffs. So I think Herbert's a really solid play tonight. There's no reason not to play him. I love Jalen Guyton as a wild card. You might be trying to debate between Josh Palmer and Jalen Guyton. I think Guyton's been getting more targets consistently throughout the season than Palmer has, even though Palmer had more catches last Sunday against the Giants. That was without Keenan Allen, remember. Jalen Guyton and Palmer both scored touchdowns. With Keenan Allen back in the mix, I think Guyton's the guy who will benefit most with Palmer being second, but it really could be a toss-up. And I don't blame you for going either way. I really don't. Running back-wise, Austin Eckler's got the ankle issue. He's supposed to be able to play. I'm really dubious of that. But hey, a week ago, right here, in this moment, we were sitting here talking about Dalvin Cook. Will he play? Can he do anything with a bogus shoulder? What the hell happened? 200-plus yards. That's what happened. Austin Eckler's injury is different, though. It's an ankle injury, and I do believe that the ankle issue and the shoulder issue are much different. And Dalvin Cook has shown us how tough he is. We had a precedent prior to this, and I brought it up in last week's video. So, bottom line, Eckler, I'm very weary on this time. I was a little more confident on Cook because he had done it against the Saints in a playoff game a couple years ago. But with Eckler this time, I'm very, very suspect. I'm worried about it. And Justin Jackson, Josh Kelly are in the mix. Justin Jackson could be the guy who takes over. If there's a re-injury issue here in the game, Justin Jackson should flourish the most. He can catch the ball, he can run the ball, and in DraftKings, getting 1 point per reception is a nice play for Mr. Jackson. And then with tight end real quick, Jared Cook, you never could trust him fully because Donald Parham Jr. always gets in the mix. And I love Donald Parham Jr. He's a big target. And I actually think he's the future of tight end on this team. So I love playing Parham Jr. as a deeper play. Both defenses, not interested in either one. However, Mahomes and Herbert have turned the ball over this year frequently. So if you're looking for a pick six, something like that, I wouldn't blame you for trying. But I do expect points to be scored in this game, even if there are turnovers. So there it is. That's it. Thursday night stop and chat on the Fantrax YouTube channel. I'm out of here. I try to make it quick and simple and to the point. I hope you guys make lots of money tonight. I hope you win. As far as the game itself, I don't really have a gut feeling on this one. Chiefs by 3 on the road. That does seem like it's not the right line. I feel like if you force me to choose, I'm going to take the +3 with the Chargers. There it is. In the books. Thank you so much. I'm Michael Govier. Love doing these videos with you. Thanks for stopping by. Sub this channel. Hit me up on Twitter at MJGovier. G-O-V as in Victor, I-E-R. It's right down there. There it is, right there. Thanks for being here, and enjoy Thursday Night Football.